Hello and welcome, guys. Now we're gonna be talking about thermal processes, which means how is the thermal energy is being transferred between matter. Now the first one is conduction. Conduction happens when there is a direct contact between the elements or the matter, basically. Okay, so that happens in metals and non-metals. So in metals, it's a much better conductor because it's got free electrons. Non-metals doesn't conduct heat and electricity that much because it doesn't have any free electrons. Okay, so if we look into the elements itself, so you can see here is this fire is heating a metal or a copper wire. So what happens here is the electrons start to gain the energy and they start to drift along the metal. Also, there is the lattice inside. The lattice starts to vibrate along with the electrons. So the energy is transferred by both the electrons and the lattice. So that's why in metals the transfer of energy is quickly. It's due to the electrons, free electrons, and also the lattice. Okay, but if we're gonna be talking about non-metals, the energy transfer is going to be much slower because there's no free electrons. Okay, so we can say that air, glass, and water are bad conductors. Okay, so this is an experiment to show that. So you can see this on YouTube. So what happens is the heat starts to boil the water while the ice cube, which is trapped by a metal gauze, basically, is not gonna melt because the heat is not transferred. It's a bad conductor. Glass is a bad conductor. Water is a bad conductor. So this pot is gonna start to boil. The water in this pot is gonna start to boil while the ice cube is not melting. So that's the one way of showing that water is a bad conductor. So yeah, this is the idea of conduction. Now conduction can happen in solid, liquid, and gases, but there must be a direct contact with the elements. Okay, thank you for listening.